All right, welcome to the recap here. Going to go ahead and go over the trade that I took this morning in the London session. So basically what we were looking for here at open, we were looking for a sweep of the midnight low, which was 15,047 or 048. And you can see we swept that midnight low here. And then we have a market structure shift back to the upside on the 3-minute chart. We broke those two swing highs. And so I put my order on the book here at 15,057 at the beginning of the fair value gap on the 1-minute chart there to the right. This is the ICT silver bullet that we look for every single morning. So we're just waiting for price to trade back into the 15,057. Stop's going to be at the 15,049. Now, I think my thought process here was if the 3-minute chart prints the fair value gap, then I probably will move my entry up to the beginning of the gap on the 3-minute chart. In hindsight, that probably was a mistake because I believe looking at this, we have that swing high kind of in that 1559 range on the 3-minute chart there. And, in hindsight, that should be an area where it trades back into. But we decided this morning that we're really just going to target 10 handles. I was going to take 2 contracts on the Top Step account, which is on the left side, 3 contracts on the Apex account, which is on the right side. And really just going to target 10 handles. I didn't think we had a whole lot more room to the upside there to go because just above that 15,075 level, there is a bearish order block over to the left on the 5-minute chart. I do believe I show that later, but we're just waiting on price to come back here and tag us in. Now that that 3-minute chart has printed, the fair value gap printed there, I go ahead and move my entry up to 15,064.50. Again, I think this is a mistake. I should have just moved it up to that up closed candle, that red candle on the 3-minute chart there that is closed up at about 15,059. But see if price comes back down. It tags us in at 64.50. Again, I'm thinking of targeting just 10 handles. Originally, I do think my intention was to take 2 contracts off on Apex at that 75 level. But then I realized that there's a bearish order block over there on the 5-minute chart. And that could be kind of a turnaround area. So I didn't want to risk that. So we're tagged in here on both accounts. You can see me move my take profits down to about the 75 level, 74.75 to be exact. And I was thinking that we might could get this push up into the 80 on that last contract on Apex. Probably wishful thinking there, but let's let this trade play out and see what happens. Kind of just bouncing around in place right here, right now. And in hindsight on these trades, I got to get better at when they trade back into the gap for the second time, I really should be adding. So you see how that moved out to the 70 and then kind of traded back into the 64 here. Especially when I see that volume imbalance there on the 1-minute chart. When that trades through that volume imbalance, I really should be adding an extra contract there. But I don't here. But that's something that I should be doing. So as you can see, if this trades back down into that 20 SMA area right there at the 59. So that would have been a nice little, a better entry. We could have got a few more points out of this, maybe another 5 points or so. But that's not what happened. It's just something, you can always critique your trades afterwards and see where you can kind of improve. And that's what I'm noticing when I'm watching this replay here of the trade. So I wasn't concerned about this really hitting my stop at all, but I didn't want to get wicked out. So I do believe I moved my stop down to the bottom of the first candle, which is perfectly acceptable. ICT says that, you either want to have it at the bottom of the second candle that created the gap, or if you want to be a little more safe about where you put it, you can put it at the bottom of the first candle. So that's what I do here. I do move it down here in a moment, I believe. So there we are trading back into that 15,059 area, 1508. Actually hit 0775 there. So pretty close where I had my original entry. My original entry was at 150775, and we were right there at it. I'm sorry, 15057. We were 3 ticks away from it. I think it went down to 775. So anyways, trades back down, bounces off the VWAP here. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, this thing needs to go. We don't want to see it lose the VWAP, so we really want to just see it kind of trade up here and just move through the 70, move through that last swing high at 71 pretty quickly. Once it breaks that swing high, we can be pretty confident that we're on the right side of the trade and that it probably will take out that liquidity there at the 75. So that's just kind of my thought process when I was in this trade. And again, looking back, I could have had a better entry. I don't know that I could have gotten more out of this trade because, it did trade into that bearish order block and then kind of turns around. So, excuse me, pretty happy that we took profit when we did there. I always get a little antsy when the trade starts going my way and I'm up, $300-$400. I start wanting to kind of take the trade off, but I think we showed decent patience here. Once it breaks the 70, which gives us 6 handles, I believe I moved my stop to break even to where I just couldn't lose on it. And this Apex account that I'm trading in on the right here it's the one that I created. I think I'm on my 3rd trading day on it. And Top Step, I'm in my 2nd trading day on this account. So we did have a green day on both of those accounts yesterday, not a large amount, but we're at 176 on Top Step and I think 250 on the Apex account. So just kind of watch this trade, see what happens here. So as we break 70, I want to move my stop up to break even. It's just as we're breaking that first swing high. So we break 70 there, and I go ahead and start to move my stop up. I think about locking in 5 handles on one contract, but I never drop it. So I move it up, and I'm like, okay, it's not enough room at 5 handles. Let me I just reduced risk here and moved it up to that swing low that we created, or actually to the second gap. So we trade back into the entry. Again, as this trades back into my entry, I really should be adding here, but again, we don't do that. So we get a little better at trading, we'll start to implement those things. So now we're moving through 70 strong here. So I'm pretty certain at this point that we're going to trade through there. So I move my first take profit up to 5 handles, just locking in $200. And then we move it up over here, locking in 5 handles on this side as well. And we move 1 to break even. And again, I'm pretty certain that it's just going to push right through there, and that's what it ends up doing. So we get taken out on those contracts, and then it pushes up into that 76, 77 level and just kind of loses steam. And when I see that, I'm like, all right, let's see if this thing, I didn't feel like it was going to hit 79. So I just went ahead and locked in the 10 handles once it moved back above the 10 handles here. And you'll see me move my stop up here. I try to give it a minute, but it just doesn't go. And that last contract is just kind of extra, that's extra on top there. So right here, I just kind of move the stop up once I realize, I'm like, all right, I don't really think it's going to go. And it actually turns out to be right because it reverses right there and does not go any higher. Doesn't make it to the 80. So we made the right decision there. So you can see we're up $400 on Top Step, $621 on Apex in one trade. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to be doing every night, really just taking one trade and getting out, being done. So as you can see, here's I'm just going to show you guys the accounts from today. So we were up $400.84 there on Top Step. The total balance currently is $650,654. So we got about $2,350 more to go there. Trade of 8. We did take a trade in the London session, or I'm sorry, not Trade of 8. Apex. We did take a trade in the London session. You can see my Apex accounts here. We got the top account here is the account that I'm already funded on. I'm just waiting for the 7th trading day. I'm really wanting to get these two going at the same time in order to kind of get these in sync with each other, get all three funded at once. So the second account, we're at $1,213. We made $621 on that account today. And then I started a new one today, and we took that silver bullet in London, or sorry, in the New York session, and we made $431. So in all today, we made around $1,450 on these combine accounts, and we only took 2 trades. And so that's kind of what we're going to be looking for from here on out. I am currently on vacation, so I'm not trading the New York session. I'm only trading the London session and streaming it. If I do take a trade in the New York session, it's just literally between 10 and 11 looking for the silver bullet setup. So if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we will see you next time.